Okay, so I'm back from the walk. Still not really any the wiser about what I was actually going to say in this video, but something that popped into my head that I'd quite like your thoughts on is, have you kept up a routine since you've been on lockdown or quarantine or whatever you want to call it? Have you kept up a routine, and has it helped you? Because I have been thinking about the fact that because I don't answer to anybody and I'm not actually working at the moment, I am the master of my own destiny, which some may think is great, but when it goes on and on and on and on and on, it's very difficult to stay motivated and stick with a routine when you're not answering to anyone. You know, if I decided I'm not going to actually step out of my bed for a whole 24 hours, apart from the children going, I say children, they're not youngsters, don't worry, they're one's going to be 17 in a couple of weeks and the other one is 21, so it's not like they can't fend for themselves, but I'm sure they would still bang on my bedroom door and say, what's for dinner? I'm hungry. You know, no one would actually notice. It wouldn't affect anybody. And so, you know, it's too easy for me to not stick with routines, and I think maybe that's partly where I'm going wrong. I have started to, because obviously I struggle with insomnia, so getting to sleep is difficult for me, and I notice that when my anxiety is high, like it is at the moment because of the worry of corona, I'm also waking up frequently throughout the night, so it could be that I don't fall asleep until 5 in the morning quite regularly, sometimes 4, might be 6. The other night was 6, that was awful. But I am trying to make myself get up at the same sort of time, and that's been around about 10 o'clock, which probably sounds like a huge lay-in to most people, but when you've only had about 4 hours of broken sleep, it's yeah, 10 o'clock is good. That's good for me. So yeah, I'm getting up around 10 o'clock every day, and I'm thinking maybe if I do try and exercise most days, whether that be treadmill, which I had to stop for a while because I did actually fracture my toe, my pinky toe. I fractured it a couple of weeks back, so walking wasn't the best, so I started doing some weights with my son. He's just got into fitness, and I did some weights and some upper body workouts while my toe sort of mended a bit, and it's much better now. So I'm exercising, you know, most days, and that's about it. That's about as far as my routine goes. Getting up and doing one form of exercise a day. Well, that's not really. Oh, and I do cook an evening meal every night. But other than that, you know, I think I'm probably, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I have been doing various bits and bobs, and obviously running a house, you know, there's plenty of things to be doing, but trying to do things that actually my brain enjoys, not things that I've got to do, i.e. clean the bathroom, hoover the stairs, all that, but I've been trying to come up with some things that I actually enjoy doing and that give my brain a rest, an enjoyable rest, you know, where I'm engaged in what I'm doing. Maybe I need to think of a few more things along that route. But yeah, what's your routine been like, and have you stuck to it? Do you find that beneficial to have that routine? Does it give you a sense of being a bit more in control of the situation? Because I just feel like everything's up in the air at the moment. When people joke and say, oh, I don't know what day of the week it is, I genuinely don't know what day of the week it is. The only way I know the bin's got to go out is because I look outside. Oh yeah, it must be Wednesday. I put the bin out because I just look at the neighbours. Yep, they've put the bin out, must be Wednesday. Bins get picked up on a Thursday. And other than that, every day is the same. You know, I have no prior engagements, bookings, things that occur. Yeah. So I feel like I'm just on this very much a Groundhog Day. Why are you crying? We've been on a walk. There's no pleasing some people / dogs. So yeah, are you sticking to a routine? The other thing I was going to ask was, have you had to change your medication at all during lockdown? You know, how has it affected your mood, depression, PTSD, anxiety, whatever it is that you struggle with? Because I'm assuming you must struggle with something, otherwise why else would you be watching my videos? You know, what effect has it had on those, and have you had to change your medication? Because I hate to admit it, but I will. I am taking a lot more frequently, not a higher dose, but I'm taking lorazepam a lot more frequently than previously. And I think it's because going out has got that added danger of catching something when you go out. So as much as I dreaded going out before, I didn't have to worry about catching some awful disease that now I do. So, you know, I did used to love, it sounds silly, I used to love going to Tesco, because we've got a huge Tesco next to us. So it wasn't just food, it was all sorts. You know, I could look at the clothes, I could look at the, you know, the bedding or kitcheny stuff, or, you know, DVDs and, you know, all sorts. They sell all sorts, and I used to quite like going. But now it's, you know, you've got to follow the arrows, you've got to queue, people are wearing masks and gloves, you've got to do the hygiene bit, you know, with the gel and everything when you go in, and you're just very aware of, you know, it just brings it back home what's actually going on. Because when you spend 2, 3, 4 days in a row like I have at home, you kind of, I'm trying not to watch too much news and updates and things, and you kind of get lost a bit as to, it doesn't feel real that it's going on, that this coronavirus is going on, and then you're reminded when you go out, oh yeah, actually, yeah, it is real and it is scary. So yeah, so if you want a message, let me know how you're doing, and what you're doing to keep your chin up, to stay positive, and yeah, I hope I haven't bored you to tears with all my waffle. Take care, stay safe.